Second performer is second, and Cheney Humphrey back in third place. Mike Racanelli now won the national championships in this discipline.
And he scored a 9.9 yesterday here. Wow. There's a layout double through to a flip-flop, straddle jump, punch front 1 1/4. That is a world-class mount. Second run, full in. Perfect landing. This guy is on. There's the flares. Notice he cranks it up to a pirouetting handstand and down to a straddle splits. I like this combination here. He fulfills not only the strength requirement, but also the originality requirement. And he gets the 2/10 bonus back for doing a wide straddle press handstand through a splits. Good-looking originality. Handspring front with a full in the laid-out position. There's a front to a knee. Once again, here comes that 1 foot balance. Good strength and flexibility. Here's his last tumbling run. A full in. Oh, and he's short.
Had it right up to the end. We'll lose some points at the end. Mike Racanelli.
You know, this is what I was telling you, Barry. In the event finals, the guys pull out all the stops. In the prelims, he dismounted with only a tuck double back. He went for the full in at the end of this routine. But what a mount. This is the laid out double. Nice position. What's most impressive is he continues tumbling right out of that through to a back handspring straddle jump. Punch front 1 1/4. Boy, that's nice.
So he had it perfect to the end. Here's the second pass.
This is the full in. Full twisting double back. Notice he twists off the floor. There's the full, then the tuck back. 2 flips, 1 twist. Perfect landing. This routine, he gets a lot of bonus points back for tumbling out of his opening tumbling run. A lot of difficulty. He does a full in at the end here. He's just too short. It's unfortunate because that's the kind of routine that could win a medal at the World Championships if he could hit it in Stuttgart coming up in October.
Well, I think he'd probably like to have that last run back without question. 9-5 the score for Mike Racanelli. A protege, of course, of Peter Corman, bronze medalist in the Olympic Games and the first bronze medalist for America in how many years?
44 years.
So we move on now to John Roethlisberger. He's the last competitor in this first discipline.
Boy, there's a really high full twisting double. Almost went out of bounds, but he saved that on that transition. Front step out. He's very quick. Good clean style there. Front step out through the double full punch front. There's some flexibility for you.
Yeah.
They call that a pancake. I guess that's pretty descriptive. Little trouble there in the press. Notice he's checking that handstand. He'll lose at least 1/10 of a point for that. Head spring front. Once again, he has fulfilled all the requirements as he completes them here with his 1 foot balance. He'll need to finish with his last tumbling run across the diagonal to complete the coverage of the floor area. There's the dismount. A full in. Nice job. That's the same trick that Racanelli just missed at the end. Impressive finish for John Roethlisberger.
John Roethlisberger, of course, as we look at his first pass from a gymnastics family.
John's father, of course, the coach at the University of Minnesota. John opened with a terrific full in. Look at the rotation. He made it easily. You notice as he turns, he's looking at that white line. Good judgment call there. John is only 19, and this is one of the impressive stories about what's happening with the U.S. program. There's so many talented young guys. This is tough stuff. A full in at the end to a terrific landing, and he's only 19. This young man has a terrific future ahead of him.
And we await the scores now of John Roethlisberger. The score to beat, of course, Lance Ringnaald's 9.75. 9.45. And does that surprise you?
I think it's a little low, too.
And the gold medal for the floor exercise. So let's check in. The silver goes to Patrick Kirksey. And David St. Pierre gets the bronze. How about on the horse? In the men's gymnastics competition, Chris Waller gets the gold. The bronze goes to Tim Ryan.
Competition, and we have spread the wealth around here. We should mention when last we met, it was Lance Ringnauld on the floor exercise winning. Chris Waller went on to win the pommel horse, and now we are on the still rings where Tim Ryan is the leader, having scored a 9.75. But here is the anchor man, if you will, Lance Ringnauld.
Once again, Lance is having a terrific competition. Now, he scored a 9.6 in the all-around and team competition of this event earlier, so we know he has potential to score really high.
And they play, whenever there's a delay here, they play the music from Jeopardy when they get to the final Jeopardy question.
The audience certainly is loving it.
Let's talk about the requirements in this particular discipline, Bart.
Yeah, this certainly is a good opportunity to spend a little time talking about the nuances of the sport of gymnastics. This looks a little complicated, and I'll try and talk us through this. First of all, the gymnast must perform 2 different handstands of at least B value. The moves are A, B, C, and D. A being the easiest, B in the mid-range. One has to be done with a swing, one with strength. They have to do a static strength move, at least B value, and one more strength part. What all of this means, basically, is the judges are increasing the emphasis on strength moves.
All right. It's the only sport I've ever been around where the rules are made by NASA. So Lance Ringnauld now prepares for his competition, and the crowd applauding the performance a moment ago of Tom Schlesinger, who finished with a 9.65. It moves him into second place behind Tim Ryan. But here's the man of the moment, 19-year-old Lance Ringnauld, who has had a superb meet here.
That's Mike Thomas boosting Lance Ringnauld up to the rings. It's a great opening sequence right there. Back roll around to a cross. That's one of the strength moves the judges are looking for. Elocate, front giant. There's a move called a Yamawaki to a whippet. How about that for
I like that
terminology? Another strength move, but you see Lance is swinging a little bit. And he killed the swing perfectly on that move there. It was first done by Kresin from the Soviet Union, as well as Delchev from Bulgaria. There's a press to a handstand, one of the requirements the judges need to see as well. He has also swung to a handstand earlier in the routine. Here's the dismount, a clean laid out double.
Nailed it. Now, he did nail it, but the question is, did he nail it by enough?
Well, it's going to be hard to tell, but certainly this was a bright spot in his exercise. He gets originality points for doing a move like this. Very few gymnasts attempt something like this, and this is an outstanding angle to take a look at how the gymnast sees a laid-out double flip. He does a giant over the top. He's going to keep his body stretched. You'll see right here he's looking for the floor. Where is it? There it is. Bingo.
I'll tell you, it takes more nerve than I've got. We mentioned at the very beginning of this that these all look so easy. And I'll tell you, the work and the dedication that goes into making it look so easy is beyond my comprehension.
Well, and it's great they're having such a good time. That's John Roethlisberger along with Lance. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, it's so exciting to see the new junior gymnasts taking over the reins of U.S. gymnastics. And these kids are outstanding.
There's the score for Lance Ringnauld. Very good, 9.6, but simply not good enough to catch the leader, Tim Ryan. Now, we're going to have an opportunity right now to look back on Tim Ryan's performance on the rings, and it was virtually flawless, Bart.
And this is certainly one of Tim's best events. He is so strong. He pulls through, does a kip to an L. This is a straight arm, straddle press to a handstand. That's called an inverted iron cross. Watch this. This is called a Maltese cross. That's a combination of a cross and a flange move. One of the most difficult strength moves you can do. It was a good combination. A whip it to an L cross. Once again, as I mentioned, the judges are looking for more and more strength elements. And there's no question that Tim Ryan has all of the strength as well as world-class swing elements, which of course is a requirement. Here's a beautiful locked arm, front giant swing. The rings are absolutely still. And he totally rocks that layout double.
That's about as good as you could see. Tim Ryan finished with a 9.75. It was enough for him to win this particular discipline. So far we've had 3 events and 3 different winners.
Great.
Here's another look.
Once again, this is a terrific angle to see what's happening as he bails out of the handstand. There's a laid out double flip, nice, clean, tight arch. He spots the landing and doesn't budge at all. This is a good opportunity to see the incredible strength. That's the inverted iron cross. And now notice this, he's gonna power down to a planche and then lower down all the way through the rings. That's called a Maltese cross. That's tough.
And there's a look at the winner, Tim Ryan, 9.75. He scored on that. It was enough to give him the gold medal in the still rings. And here's the way they finished in this particular discipline. Tim Ryan wins it. Mike Racanelli finished second, 9.7. Tom Schlesinger, perhaps a surprise, 9.65 in third place ahead of Cheney Humphrey, Lance Ringnauld, and David St. Pierre. And the bottom line of this whole thing is that the future of men's gymnastics seems to be in very good hands. If there is a leader to be picked, I suppose it's Lance Ringnauld. Men's gymnastics in the United States has come a long way. The team has gotten more experience, more exposure, and it's gotten younger. It all seemed to start with the heroes of 1984. Bart Conner has moved on to success behind the microphone. And his teammates, Vidmar and Gaylord, have also sought media careers. Thomas, Daggett, and Hartung have all remained involved in the sport. And it didn't really end there. The Johnsons, Lakes, and Davises provided the backbone of today's new breed. That new breed includes the likes of Patrick Kirksey and Tim Ryan, names you'll soon know. And the captain, Lance Ringnauld.
One of the biggest things the gymnastics scene right now is the new group of the young generation coming up. I think it's going to get younger and younger as the years go on. But right now our junior team is very strong. And I think that was initiated by Tim Ryan and myself. You know, because of our ambitions are so high, the seniors at the top, and they're pretty comfortable. The juniors are always fighting to get to the top. So we've got people to look, that's why they move a little quicker, I think.
Being so young, it was a remarkable feat that in 1988, at age 18, Lance was named to the Olympic squad, the youngest member of the team in 20 years.
The biggest thing was, you know, I'm the youngest one, so the pressure wasn't really on me. The veterans like Scott Johnson, Charlie Lakes, they had the pressure. So it allowed me to do my job a little easier, you know, the gymnastics. But being so young, it gives me more time in the sport, which is very important to me.
And it's very important to U.S. men's gymnastics.
All right.
That was tied in 1986 by Scott Johnson. Lance Ringnauld had a chance to tie that record, but missed out on the horse. Here's Barry and Bart again.
And Bart, Jim, breathing a big sigh of relief over that. He is still immortal here. Meantime, we are in the vault competition now. And once again, can't emphasize enough that really, and we've been saying this, I feel like we've been saying this ad nauseum, but we're really watching the future of gymnastics, both women's and men's here. And I think the competition today indicative just of that exact thing. Lance Ringnauld won the floor exercise, Chris Waller won the pommel horse, Tim Ryan won the still rings. And now we're looking at Conrad Versanger, and this is his first appearance of the day.
Conrad, of course, trains at Stanford University with Sadao Hamada, and Tong Fei, the world champion from the Chinese team, is now coaching in this country. Boy, that was a great vault. That's a Kasamatsu with a half turn. Was very high and nice form. This is a great opportunity to see what happens on this vault. He round-offs on, cranks it around one short hop. You'll see he's a little out of line. This is a good opportunity to see that. He actually ends up hopping a little out of line. That will be a minor deduction, but this vault, of course, is judged out of a 9.6. He can get 2/10 of a point for originality and as much as 2/10 of a point for virtuosity. He'll get the virtuosity points because he was certainly very high. He'll lose a couple of tenths for not sticking the landing.
Again, emphasizing the point that you made earlier that everybody is very loose and really going for it. 9-4 the score for Conrad Versanger.
Let's go Saint.
9.6, the best so far in this competition. That put up by Patrick Kirksey.
David has a very exciting vault. He does a Kasamatsu with a full turn. It's one of the most exciting vaults we're going to have an opportunity to see here. It's one of the most difficult vaults being done in the world. Now, he nailed it the other day in the preliminaries, and I haven't seen him do it that well before. Let's see if he can repeat.
And he's in the midst of a very good competition. He's finished
having
third
a great
in a couple of events.
Here we go. There it is. And again, this young man is having the meet of his life.